Hello there, my name is ChrisTenarium, and today we are playing Culina, Hands in the Kitchen. This is a game out in about a week. This is a beta, however we will continue playing it all once it isn't a beta, etc, etc. I know nothing about this game other than it's a visual novel gameplay hybrid thingy. There hasn't been a good one of those in a really long time, so let's hope this is actually something decent. There are loading screens this early on. This is good, I guess, because it means that there's something here. The first name is Chris. Well, that saves me having to put that name in. Obviously, well, no, it doesn't actually. Oh, God. Nah. I can't call myself Chris, can I? Dave Davison. We are Generic Mook Generico. Name number 1. I open the door. It's kind of eerie that this whole place is mine. To distract myself from all the potential problems, I start to tidy the room. Tidy the room? How much OCD do you have for this not to be clean to you? Oh my god. If I ever got a kitchen or restaurant as clean as this, I'd pat myself on the back. Fuck it, I'd ask for a bonus at that point. Is the textual reading too big? No, I've already seen that. That is a good point. Something I should probably check out? How do I access the menu? Escape? Okay, good. You can actually change this. So I'm going to have it here, but you can have it... Woof. See? Like this. And then the text size. Whoosh. Isn't that really weird and garishly big? It's like a children's book. I know. I've played around with it a bit. Medium is the best one. Obviously, text speed is all the way up because you've got to go fast, fast, fast. And then there are audio options. There's no windowed mode, which is really annoying, so I'm having to play this in full screen. So if anything goes wrong, blame full screen. That's what I'll blame when I fail the gameplay. I've got it in full screen. It's not like we're opening for business today, but it's probably a good idea to neaten the place up for good first impressions. When I can't put it off any longer, I flip the lock and put up a paper in the window above the now hiring sign that says, "Interviewing today." I hope that everyone comes on time. Alright, well, I used to conduct interviews to a certain extent. That never fucking happens. Never happens. You get the cunt who's there 20 minutes early, and then you'll get the person who's there like 20 minutes late. It's really annoying. But not everyone does. The first interviewee is 20 minutes late! There you go! See, even the game realizes the stereotype, and everything gets thrown off schedule. The fourth person doesn't even show though, so it evened out. I have a couple maybes and a couple hell no's. You do know that this isn't a vegan restaurant, right? I don't see how that's relevant to anything. But you just said you refuse to cook anything that has meat in it. I can't hire you if you can only prepare a third of the dishes, if that. Then I think we're done here. What sort of restaurant is this? I can't tell. Alright, hang on. I'm trying to see what it says at the end. Or of thine friends were, each man's death diminishes me, for I am involved in mankind. Therefore send not to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. That sounds very Catholic churchy, doesn't it? It sounds very, I shall smite you down! You know, God in the Old Testament sort of stuff. It sounds very much like that. So, that gives me no indication as to where this restaurant is from at all. I've never seen that in a restaurant before. Unless they mean for whom the bell tolls is suddenly a Metallica reference. I somehow doubt that. He grabs his folder and from me and storms off. Gee, sensitive much? But really, did he even read the hiring specifics? Probably not. Tough interview. I look up and see a girl around my age, maybe a little older or younger. Age is hard to figure out. She has a side ponytail and a bright smile. Oh god, she's one of these people who wears side ponytails. I haven't seen side ponytails since Bratz was a thing. And you are? Good question. Catherine Ryder, but my friends call me Katie. I'm next to interview. I'm kind of early, but I guess that worked out for me. Yep. Also, you said your friends call you Katie, so if it's... I'm going to be nice, but I am going to call you Catherine. So her smile is huge. Her smile is huge? She... I mean, come on, she looks like she's a second away from her tongue starting to hang out. Oh, well, whatever. I look at the timetable that I thankfully thought to make of in advance, waitress. There hadn't been too many of those applications. I want to call you, Catherine. I'm sorry, if you'd said anything else, I probably would have called you Katie, but the fact that you said your friends call you Katie makes you want to lead on and make me call you a friend. No, I'm not having that. Catherine, I appreciate that you came in early, Miss Ryder, but I'd rather we stick to the schedule. Would you mind sitting over there until it's your time for interview? Okay, now see, that's being a dick. Can I roll back? Backlog is Alt. Does that mean No. Can I click here? No. I can't redo choices? Oh, come on, I didn't realize being professional meant... Fucking, look, you go over there and you really tell her who's boss. Sit pointlessly over there in the corner for 20 minutes until I want to interview you. Oh, okay. Katie looks a little sheepish. Maybe the professional approach wasn't the right one for her. Katie had a seat a few tables away, and I spent 15 minutes going through the past interviews and taking notes. Finally, it's Katie's time slot. I figure it's probably best to just get to the point with the interview. So you left a number for your last position. If I called her, how would you... Oh, right, a number. Oh. I thought it was trying to say, like, she left a number of different positions in a myriad of different ways. No, she means a number. Okay. If I called her, how would your former boss describe your work ethic? Well, Miss Johnson would probably say that I'm a hard worker and that she was sorry she had to let me go. You did list laid off as your reason for leaving your last job. You mind giving me any details on that? Not at all. See, Miss Johnson was running her place with her son and she ended up having to go to surgery on her knee. Pete's always wanted a chance to handle things on his own, so she left him in charge unsupervised for about a month. Problem is, Peter has no idea how to crunch numbers and he nearly ran the place into the ground. Yeah, funny that. What? You have to have some sort of like innate business sense to run a business? You can't just waltz in and do it without any prior knowledge? Shocked face. :O. When she got back, she had to practically gut the place to get money coming in again. Then they had to lay off some staff and I volunteered to go. You volunteered to go? That's weird. You volunteered to leave your job? Were you unhappy with it? Oh. No way, it was just, well, Lisa's husband left her alone with 2 kids, Mark's old car finally died and he had to get another one. Sadie's been with the place since it opened back in 1952. And they still let her work. Wow. That's a long time. My brain is telling me to say 64 years, however that might be wrong. But if they started working at 16, I mean, they're too old to be working, is the bottom line. They're 80, for God's sake. Oh, whatever. And Chas was Pete's wife's nephew, so I was the only one who could really take the hit. Sounds like a rough situation to be in. Well, it wasn't so bad up until the last week when I started running out of the cash I'd saved up for emergencies. Katie bit her lip and broke eye contact with me. I don't think she'd meant to sound like a desperate plea for work, nor did I get the impression that she was thinking about how what she said sounded. The worry etched into her expression seemed more complex than her earlier demeanour, but made me suspect she was capable of. She quickly made eye contact with me and smiled. That's not smiled. That's how a dog smiles at you, not a human. Ah, and your side ponytail is still very off-putting. Is there any chance I get to say no? Don't suppose I can just say no, can I? That'd be evil. I really like your place. It's smaller than Miss Johnson's was, but it feels nice, like I just found something special tucked away in a little box that was previously lost in a corner full of junk. The hell are you trying to do? The kind of place that people stumble across and make it their place, then they keep coming back and they keep making cozy, happy memories. You haven't even got the job yet, what are you doing? In the nicest possible way, like wait until I at least give you something before you start saying stuff like that. At Miss Johnson's, there was this one couple that came in every weekend at the same time. Miss Johnson would always come out and chat with them and offer them a free dessert. Sadie said it was because they were the first couple to ever propose in her restaurant, and that they used to only come in for real special occasions. It didn't become a regular thing until their oldest son got shipped off to war and then went MIA. Just think, at a time like that, they thought to come to Miss Johnson's place for company. Yeah, okay, cool, I get it. Like, this isn't even relating to the story. Tell me why you want to work in my place, not what was so much better about the other place, you bastard. I bet this place will have all kinds of moments like that. Yeah, okay, whoop-de-doo. I was a little stunned by Katie's story, but even more so with the gentle passion in which she told it. If I didn't hire this girl, I'd be crazy, but then I really shouldn't let myself get swept up into a nice story. I held back the urge to tell her she was hired right away. I sincerely hope so. I'm also afraid your time is up. Oh, I'm sorry, sometimes I kind of ramble. I hope I didn't bore you. Well, I did skip past 4 or 5 lines, so you definitely bored me. Not at all. It was very intimate. No, it really wasn't. I was bored. I stood up and shook Katie's hand before watching her gather her things and slowly leave. I stretched before walking over to the door and flipping the lock. Man, that was a long day. There was absolutely no lock at all, and chef department, interview day 2 better go well. I do not want to set up interview day 3. Some pretty interesting people came into the restaurant today. Some were on the crazy side, like that vegan. Others were kind of bleh, like that nice college kid with no experience. Oh, something, no experience, something, 5 years experience. I've seen these memes. It's kind of weird to call him a kid considering I just graduated, but there's a feeling of us and them. Life hits you fast. Wow. Life makes you be elitist fast. Life makes you discriminate fast. I like the message this game is giving. Also, yes, for those who've seen, I am holding a cricket ball. Depending on how tomorrow goes, I'll probably hire Katie. She has good credentials, takes a real joy in serving, has a nice personality, and is, well, really cute. Really cute. No, there's a difference between really cute and what she was. That was weird. How she was smiling, just like... I had no teeth. It's, I felt a little skeevy for thinking about that, but a nice attractive waitress would be a great draw to the restaurant. Oh, whatever, I'll figure this out after tomorrow's interviews. Exactly, you can't think about it now. Damn it, I was so worried about the interviews that I couldn't sleep last night. Do not be late, Dave, do not be late. My heart was rushing more than I was as I haphazardly dashed through the back entrance, through the kitchen into the main dining area, flipping switches all the way. Oh no, I turned on the rotating table switch. I gracefully lost my balance, making the U-turn from the dining area back toward the kitchen where my office was waiting for me. You have an office in a place like this, very fancy. I ended up jumping on one foot as I tried not to fall, and luckily I managed to get to the doorframe before I fell on my arse. I took a breath and practically leaped over to my office. I flung open the drawers of my cheap metal desk and I was pretty sure I heard something snap. That's because it's cheap, although if metal is snapping, chances are it's a little too cheap. Probably welded it yourself at that point. I figured out what it was and I tried to close it again after I got my resumes out. I bent down and tried to force it closed with little success. The 2 knots on the frame to my open office door would have gone unnoticed from the noise of me trying to jam the stubborn thing back where it belonged, but the tail also in the door frame is very noticeable. Right, here is the magical part where we have to move our webcam so as to not block this dude here, because otherwise then it gets like weird. I mean, I know I'm attractive, but I just don't have this kind of body. Saying that, he's leaning forward in a really weird way. Also, I just realized, is this live 2D? Because they're doing that weird thing where he's supposed to be breathing, but he's not. He's wobbly. He's like jelly. Look. You see what I mean? It's jelly. It's not breathing. Yeah, I said, like, when you breathe, it's... You know, something like that, you don't wobble. You know, you're not Mr. Blobby. I tried one last time to close the drawer, only to have it not only comply, but comply so fast that I jammed my thumb into it at the process. Ow. Blood blister. A long string of expletives spewed from my mouth, no doubt giving this stranger the best first impression of me. Sorry. I sucked air through my teeth, put on a grin and shook the pain out of my thumb as best as I could. No problem, I cleared my throat and rifled through the pile of papers I'd yanked out earlier. My eyes glanced over the first name on my interview list. Dante Moreni? Why is it when there is a cooking or restaurant-based game, there is someone Italian in it? I don't know what Dante means. I presume that's just a normal name, but Moreni is dark. I know that much, I think. So, this is Dante Dark, everyone. His name makes alliteration in English, so I shall be calling that from now on. Yes, chef. Chef? I just slammed my thumb into... whatever, I guess you're being polite. I looked at the time on my phone, the pain still throbbing through my hand. It wasn't going to go away anytime soon, so I may as well get used to ignoring it now. Great. You're right on time. Sorry I'm not. I laughed, but Mr. Dark didn't seem to appreciate the joke. I cleared my throat again and gestured toward the door. You were smiling a second ago. Don't tell me he's one of these people who only smiles at other people's misfortunes. I don't really have any extra chairs in my office, so I've been conducting the interviews in the dining area. Mr. Moretti nodded firmly. Oh, damn it, I've already broken my own rule. Mr. Dark nodded firmly and walked out. You know, in case Moretti isn't Dark, I'll stop calling him that. As I walked behind him, I couldn't help but really notice how tall he was. Well, if I hired him, at least he could use the tallest shelves in the kitchen. That's your first thought about hiring someone tall. Holy shit, you must be small. His tallness was less apparent when we both sat down, but that was because he was sitting a bit slouched. I took another chance to clear my throat and shake some of the pain from my thumb before I asked the interview questions. Well, he definitely wants to be professional. It's going to be a bit weird if we're not. What type of food are you most comfortable cooking? I grew up with Italian. Of course you did. What else would you grow up on? But I've been expanding my skill set over the years. I can now do German cuisine! What is that, Mr. Moretti? Well, I buy some sausages from the local supermarket and then I just stick them in a frying pan, really. Mr. Dark was very precise with his answers. Deciding how to handle this professionally was probably the best call. Knew it. Refusion restaurant, is that something you'd be comfortable with? I've been specializing in fusion. I especially enjoy adding Asian techniques and flavors. Of course you do. For once, however, this isn't just adding, oh lol, Asian, because visual novel and JVN. For once, it's not actually that, because Asian fusion is something which is really popular, especially where I can live. Asian is pretty versatile that way. I nodded and looked over his resume more. It was pretty lengthy, and I was really surprised someone with this credentials needed to look for a job. It says here you were a sous chef at Arca until 6 weeks ago. Is there any particular reason why you left? The head chef and I had conflicting views on how to treat the staff. So, you suddenly look Asian. That is really weird. You were Italian a few seconds ago, now you're here and you're Asian. Oh, I don't know. It might be the sun reflecting on your skin to give you a different colour. Then again, I probably can't say that. I know what it is. I can't say. So he was butting heads with his old boss. He seemed like a pretty serious guy. I wasn't sure if red flags should have been going off from that point or not. Well, ask him how the boss was treating the staff and ask him how he wanted to treat the staff. That's the best way to get around this. You mind elaborating? I don't want to be disrespectful. That bad? Mr. Moretti didn't answer me, but he shifted uncomfortably and broke eye contact. I decided not to press the matter. Then he could be an absolute bastard to staff. Like, you need to find out whether he wanted to treat them nicely or whether he wanted to treat them professionally and be like, oh, you fucking take this to table 6. Like, we can't hire someone like that. On paper, Dante Dark was perfect. His personality, I've already gone back to it. His personality left a little something to be desired, but I wasn't looking for charm school professors. I still had more interviews to go, but I felt like I'd already made my decision to hire him. Which means there's only going to be 2 interviews we're conducting, isn't there? So, interview day 2. In one word, boring. Today was mostly waitress applications, and they weren't all that interesting. Nothing that would draw customers and help add to the warm atmosphere anyway. It looks like Katie's in luck, and he's kind of scary, but Dante will help me keep on track. It's good training for dealing with those customers that don't know how to take a hint, and I can probably get a good laugh out of him in his serious ways too. I'll call them tomorrow. I'm so glad it's done with. Maybe now I can get some real sleep. No. I stand up and stretch. I've done all the preparations I can for the opening day by myself, and the paperwork is all set. Awesome, so we're going to hire them. It's time to buy ingredients. I did some research about places that, with a good customer relationship, might sell close to wholesale. Lucky for me, I already have a good customer relationship with the family of a produce stand. I need to access the map screen. The map screen can be brought up by clicking on the map icon on the right side of the screen. What the f*** is that? Yeah, okay, cool, I get it. Oh. Okay, well, let me show you guys it. Something I need to do to also tone down the brightness of everything. That made no difference whatsoever. Whatever. I am literally so white that's... anyway, whatever. So, I guess we're gonna go here, presumably? Yeah, sure. I park my car and walk up to a yawning pool. I don't know, it's hard to tell how old you are. I can always tell the goodness of a visual novel by whether or not it has old characters in it or not. Because then it just goes very high schooly on us. Also, who the hell wrote this down? Okay, so what have we got? Capsicums? I don't know what they are. Onions, carrots, potatoes, apples, pears, bananas, oranges, lemons, presumably, and I don't know, grapes? I think those are those purple things to the right there. Here. These are... those are just boxes. There's nothing there and we can't... Oh, that's sweet corn. Probably, you can see it there roughly. Morning! Paul yawns again. Why are you so awake? I laugh. My restaurant's opening in 2 days. I need to finalize the menu and pick a theme. If you're so tired, why are you at the stand? Paul's family produce stand is pretty popular locally. It's small, but they do well enough that they can price competitively. Plus, the produce is really fresh and because they set up a shop a block away from the family farm. Paul frowns. Mum thought the fresh air would wake me up. Anyway, why bother with finalizing a menu? So you don't have a set rota. Your mum just decided to punish you for no good reason. Huh? But restaurants should have consistency. Normally, yeah, but this isn't a normal restaurant. Just trial and error it. What's the point of picking a menu no one likes? I nod. That makes sense, thanks. Paul smiles at me. No problem. So what can I help you with? I get out my cash and get ready to buy some ingredients. Holy shit, we actually have money. Oh god, this means we can fuck up. Of course we can't make recipes to sell until we have ingredients to make them. It all makes sense now. So this is the butcher's, and this is the vegetable place. Visiting shops around town will allow you to purchase ingredients for you to use. Being friends with the shopkeepers can often get you better prices on goods. Do you not note that you can use up to one type of each ingredient per recipe, so save some money for going to other shops in town. I can sell stuff? What stuff can I sell? I can sell vegetables to him. What the hell is the point of that? Alright, sure. I will buy off you, good sir. You have 20 of each, right. Well, unfortunately, I hate onions in every way, shape, and form. So, if we buy an onion, it'll be a miracle. A carrot. Why is the taste of a carrot so low? How dare you? Green beans? Green beans could be alright, and obviously potatoes. Staple. Great choice, that costs $4.01. I guess having $57 will be enough? Yeah, sure, whatever. And leave. After I'm done, I got Paul's attention when he finishes helping me load my car. This seems interesting, I like this. Hey Paul? Yeah? I know I'm going to buy vegetables here, of course, but I need to be able to buy other stuff too. Would you mind going over my list with me? Paul shrugs. Sure. What's on your list? Put a small folded piece of paper from my wallet. Well, there's this place called Spice of Life that... What an awful pun. That look pretty good for specialty spices, but I really need a butcher and I can't decide on one. A silent, well... Paul pauses. Despite the awful name, Spice of Life has a really good selection. Yeah, see, Paul agrees with me. He knows how bad that pun was. The owner went to high school with my mum. Oh, I see. Went to prom together, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah? But I hear the new clerk is really straight-laced and formal, so I don't know about a discount. He grins. I know how much of a cheapskate you are. How dare you? I shove him in response. Whatever, I'll check it out. Maybe he or she isn't so bad. And a butcher? Paul shrugs. There's a deli about half a block from that cafe I used to go to all the time, but that's the only butcher I know nearby. I nod at him. The butcher there does a real great job. Definitely recommend at least trying a sandwich. Perfect ratio of bread to meat to condiments. How many condiments are you putting in a sandwich? Fucking weird Americans putting condiments in sandwiches? Ugh. I nod. Good to know. I get into the car and wave before heading back to the restaurant. I finish unloading the produce just in time for lunch. I go to eat in my tiny place upstairs from the restaurant. The unit is strangely built. I don't know how my mum found it. Well, judging by what she got up to in high school, you don't want to know. Well, I suppose I should check out the spice shop or head to see the butcher. I grab an empty roll-around suitcase and start my next adventure. if we're being honest, calling this an adventure is somewhat optimistic. We need meat over spices. Do we? Meats are probably going to be really expensive, and I don't know how much spice are going to cost. Tell you what, we'll do this next episode, because I've just realised we've been recording for 25 minutes. That's longer than I thought we had been. So, next episode, we'll probably go to spices, because meat's going to be really expensive. Probably. See you next time.